Hello world, welcome back to my channel. I am Sahil and I am creating a CRUD application using PHP-OOP, PDO-MySQL and Ajax. And this is the third part of the series. In previous video, you have already seen how I have designed the main page using Bootstrap 4. Now in this video, I will create database and table for this application, and also I will work on model. Okay, so let's start. So first I will create database and table. So open your PHP-MyAdmin and here click on new to create new database. So here I will keep the database name PHP_oops_CRUD. okay, and click on create. So here you can see the database has been created. Now inside this database I will create a table with name users, okay, with the number of column 5. Click on go. Now the first column will be ID, type int, and length will be 11. Make this column auto increment and primary key. Okay, now our second column will be first underscore name and type will be varchar, length will be 100. okay, now third column will be last underscore name and type will be varchar. okay, so just select varchar and length will be 100. Now the fourth column will be email with type varchar and length 100. Last column will be for phone, type varchar and length 20. okay, now just click on save. So here you can see the table has been created. okay, now let's move to our project. So this is our project and this is the index.php where I have coded this in previous video for the main page design. okay, now today I will code in db.php. okay, so this db.php is our model. okay, so in model I will code like database connectivity or some another method like insert, read, update, delete, etc. okay, so first let's create connection to the database using this model. okay, so what I will do here is let's create a class first. okay, so class database. okay, now inside this class I will declare some member variable. okay, so I will use private access specifier and $dsn. Now this dsn stands for data source network. okay, so here I am using PDO, okay, PHP data output. okay, now PDO is used for PDO is used in PHP to connect to the various databases. okay, so here I am using MySQL database. okay, so here we have to write MySQL, okay, and then colon and then host equal to local host. So here our server name is localhost, so here we have to write, and then db name equal to, so here we have to write the database name that I have just created. okay, so I have written PHP_oops_CRUD. okay, now create another member variable private user. Now our user name is root, so just write root, private pass. Now password is nothing, so keep this blank, and one more variable I will create is $con. okay, now I will create constructor method for connecting to the database. okay, so for this I will write public function underscore underscore construct. Okay, now here I will use try and catch block. I will use this keyword here and access this con variable. Okay, and here I will write new PDO. Okay, PDO is a class. Okay, and here we will pass the DSN first, and then I will pass user name, and then I will pass password. Okay, and in catch block we will catch the PDO exception. Okay, so here we can write PDO exception and $e, and we have to display the exception using echo. So here just using this variable $e, we will call a method get message. Okay, now if everything will be fine, then here we will display some message successfully connected. Okay, successfully connected. Now if we save this and just create a object of this class, okay, and go to your browser and just write here db.php. okay, so here you can see the message successfully connected. Okay, it means this code is working fine for connection to the database. Okay, so no need to display this message, so just remove this. Now let's define another method like insert, read, delete, update. Okay, so first I will define insert method for inserting records into the database. Okay, so here I will use public access specifier and then function keyword and then the name of the method insert. Now this insert method will take some argument. Okay, so $f name, $l name, $email and $phone. Okay, now I will write the SQL query here, insert into users is the name of the table. Okay, now in this parenthesis we have to mention the column name. Okay, so the column name is first underscore name, last underscore name, email and phone. Okay, now here we have to specify value, and in this parenthesis we have to mention the placeholder for the column names. Okay, so here in PDO we have to write like this. First we have to write this colon and then placeholder name. Okay, so for first name here I have written f name. Similarly we can write colon for colon and l name for last name. Okay, and here colon and email. Okay, colon phone. So I have written 4 placeholder name here because 4 columns are mentioned here. Okay, now what I have to do is just I am using prepared statement here. Okay, so let's create a statement variable here, and using this keyword I will use this con variable connection variable, and in this connection variable, this connection to the database is stored in this con variable. Okay, so I am accessing using this keyword. Okay, now here I will just use another method prepare. Okay, and pass this SQL variable here. Okay, and I will again use a statement variable here, and then I will use execute. Execute, and here we have to bind all the placeholder with their values. Okay, so here we can use an array like structure. So just mention the big bracket here. Now for first name, here we have to write this placeholder name here. Okay, so f name, and then this will be key, and what value are coming inside this placeholder. So this app name will come inside this placeholder. Okay, so we have to mention this variable here for the value for this placeholder. Okay, now similarly like this we have to do for another, like l name, and then $l name. Okay, now comma for email, just write email and $email. Okay, now comma phone, then $phone. Okay, now this insert method is ready. Okay, now just here return true. Okay, so I will test this method when I will code in this action.php, that is our controller. Okay, so for now let's define another method. Another method is select all the records from the database. Okay, so here I will define public function, and I will define read method. Okay, now this read method will select all the records from the database and display in the main page in table format. Okay, so here we have to just write the SQL query select all from users. Okay, and here we have to just create statement variable, and using this keyword we will again access this con variable, and then prepare method, then pass SQL variable here. Okay, now again a statement variable, and then execute method. Okay, and then here we can just create another variable result to store the records. Okay, so using this statement variable we will use a method fetch all. Okay, fetch all, and here we have to mention in what format we are fetching the record. So we will use PDO fetch SO. So we will fetch in associative array. Okay, so just write like this, and then we will use for each, and here just use result as a row. Okay, now here I will create another variable data. Oh sorry, here we will create data as array, and then we will store all the records into this data. Okay, and here I will just return this data. Okay, and here we have to create the data as array, empty array. Okay, array, so just define like this. So if we just come here and just call this object and read method. Okay, and just echo this. Okay, echo, and if we go to the browser and click on db.php, then array to string conversion is so don't use echo, just use print r method. Okay, print r function, and let's see what. So there is nothing in this array. So if we insert some values here, like first name Sahil Kumar Sahil @gmail.com and phone. So if we click on go, now there is one record in this table. Now if we refresh here, then we are getting one record using this read method. Okay, so here you can see id 1, first name Sahil, last name Kumar, email id this, phone this. Okay, so this method is working fine. So we will use this method in controller, then we will display all the records in main page. Okay, so just remove this line. Now let's create another method, get user by id. Okay, so this method is for selecting all the records from the database, but for selecting one user by using a specific id. So for this I will write another method. So just use public function and get user by id. Okay, and here just pass the id variable. Now again just write SQL query select string from users where id equal to placeholder id. Okay, now again just use statement variable and then this keyword con variable, then prepare method, then pass SQL here. Okay, now again create statement variable, then execute. Now here we have to bind one variable, that is one placeholder, that is this id. Okay, so again here in array format we have to just write id and then just write $id variable here. Okay, now again we have to store the record in result variable. So here just write result variable and then equal to statement and then use a method fetch only. Okay, fetch. For fetching single record just use fetch, and for fetching multiple records just use fetch all. Okay, so here just use fetch and use same style, so just pass here. Okay, now here just use return, return result. Okay, result. Now I will also test this method in next video. Okay, so keep this as it is. Now let's create another method, that is our update method. Okay, so for this just write public function update. Okay, now this update method will also take some argument, id, app name, lname, and then email, and then phone. Okay, id, fname, lname, email, phone, and again here I will write the SQL query, update user set first underscore name equal to colon app name, and last underscore name equal to colon lname, and email equal to colon email, phone equal to colon phone. Okay, where id equal to colon id. Okay, this is the query. Now again create statement variable equal to, using this keyword we will access con variable, then prepare method, then pass SQL variable here. Now using this statement variable we will execute the query, and we have to bind all the placeholders. Okay, so here just use array format. Now so first we have to write the array according to this placeholder. So the first placeholder is fname, then last name, then email, then phone, then id. Okay, so according to this we have to write here. So the first is fname, so just write fname, and then just assign value dollar $fname. Okay, dollar $fname, comma, then we have lname, then assign value dollar $l name. Okay, now email, so just write email, and then phone, so just write phone, dollar phone, and then last id. Okay, so id and dollar id. Okay, now just return true here. So the update function is also ready. Now define another method for delete record. Okay, so just write public function delete, and then id. So we will delete only a specific record when we click on a specific record. So here we need the id of that record. Okay, so that's why I have passed id argument here. Okay, now again just write the SQL delete from users where id equal to colon id. Okay, id, Now using stmt variable, we again use con variable, then prepare method, then pass SQL, and then using statement variable we will execute this, and here we have to bind the ID, so just ID and then ID. Okay, and return true. Now one more method is public function total row count. Okay, now here just use SQL, and here select asterisk from users, and a statement this con prepare SQL, sorry, statement execute, and then create another variable total rows t underscore rows equal to statement, and here we will use a method row count. Okay, now here just use return t rows. Okay, now if we just use this method echo $OB and total row count, and if we go to the browser and refresh, then here we are getting 1 because there is only one record in the database is present. Okay, that's why here is 1 displaying. So I will use all the methods in controller, and we will do the other things in next video. Okay, so enough for this video. In next video I will show you how to work on controller file. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. Please like, share this video and subscribe this channel also.